Alright, so good day everyone. So today we are going to do an introduction about fishing. Fishing is basically one of my most favorite hobbies. I've been doing it for more than 10 years now, and I've caught a lot of good fishes along the way. So for me, this introduction that I'm gonna give, this is the same set of principles that I usually go to whenever I'm trying to learn a new fishing style, or whenever I'm trying to get to teach someone how to fish or how to get into fishing. So basically, fishing is a system of tools. So you get all the tools you need. You go to a tackle shop and make those tools work together in order to catch the fish that you want to catch. So the concept we're trying to build here is from the fish to the fisherman. So what does that mean? So I've compiled a checklist of each tool that I need in order to catch that fish. So first on that list is the fish. So what fish are you trying to catch? Is it a saltwater fish? Is it a freshwater fish? Does it live on the bottom of the ocean? Or does it live on the surface? Does it like to dwell on rocky areas or in the middle of the sea and stuff like that? So you have to learn where to catch that fish. What fish is it? Is it a big fish? Is it a small fish? So all of those things into consideration. You have to learn and you have to know what fish you're catching. So that's the first thing. So it's not always required, because sometimes you just wanna do a certain fishing style, and that's number 2 actually on our list. So the next concept is the fishing style. So what type of fishing do you want to do? If you're targeting a fish, chances are that the style of fishing depends on what fish you're catching. But of course, that's not always the case. You sometimes you just want to go to the beach and pull out your fishing rod and cast and catch whatever fish you could catch on that place. So yeah, so it depends on what fishing style you're going to implement. So if you're going to do trolling, you're going to do lure casting, you're going to do bottom fishing, so you have to identify what fishing style you're going to do. So again, it could depend on what fish you're catching, or you could just be on that place during that time and you just want to go fishing and try it out. So you could buy your equipment or your tools depending on the fishing style. Next, on our concept from the fish to the fisherman is the bait or the lure. So again, depending on what fish you're trying to catch, there are fishes that prefer fresh bait. There are fishes that are easily caught using artificial baits or lures. So again, it depends on what fish you're trying to catch or what fishing style you're doing. So it really helps if you will also Google those concepts, like if you're trying to catch a cod, or if you're trying to catch a grouper or a giant trevally. So it depends on that will tell you what fishing style you're going to do for that fish, and that fishing style will dictate what lures you're going to buy or what bait you're going to use in order to catch that fish. So here we have certain types of baits, and the different baits that we have here depends on what type of fishing you're using. So this one is a 125 gram popper, so this is for popping. And then you also have different lures that you use. So this is a dive bait, and you also have some a jig here. So this is a metal jig. You also have a frog. This one's a for fresh water. I don't know why there's wire here, but anyway. So the next concept is our terminal tackle. So what's a terminal tackle? Basically, these are tools that are usually considered as disposables. So what are those? Those are your main line or your leader line. For fresh baits, you have hooks. You also have swivels. You have sinkers. You have all these types of tools that you need. So again, that will be dictated by the fishing style you're implementing. So not just the fishing style, but the fish that you're trying to catch. So if you're trying to catch a bigger fish, if you're targeting that kind of fish, then of course the terminal tackle will also have to be heavier in order to withstand the beating from that fish. So terminal tackle, you have some swivel. So this is also an example of a swivel here that's connected to my popper. And then the next on the tools that you need to get are the reels. So here we have 4 types of reels. So we have a spinning reel, we have a bait runner, you also have a bait casting, and you have an overhead reel. So the reels do different are for different purposes. It depends on what type of fishing you're going to do. It comes in different sizes also. So this is quite a big reel already. So I use this for jigging and for popping. So it depends on what fishing you're going to do. And then once you've decided on the reel, you also have to buy some rods. So the rods also depend on what type of fishing you're going to do, what species you're going to catch, how big they are. So that dictates what rod you're going to buy for the reel. So you can get a small rod. For this one's an ice fishing rod, so it's quite small. You also have some bigger rods. This one's for jigging, that's why it's quite long. It's not really that long, it's around 5 feet. And then this one's an all-purpose rod you can use for lure casting, for jigging and whatnot. So again, it depends on what type of fishing and what fish you're going to catch. And lastly, on our concept of from the fish to the fisherman is the attire. So what are you going to wear? So in the attire, it depends on, are you going to be subjected to the sun all day? So in that case, you need some UV protection. So you have to buy some clothing that will protect you from the sun. You also need some headgear and some shades to go with it, especially if you have sensitive eyes like I do. You also need to get some gloves if you need them. Again, it depends on what type of fishing. Especially for ice fishing, you're gonna need some gloves to protect your hands. Waders if you're gonna go to the water to catch the fish, and footwear. So footwear for me is the most important. If it depends on where you're going to fish. If you're going to stroll long areas and walk on or hike on rocky areas, so it will protect you from the rocks. If you're gonna go wading, that's also you're gonna need some footwear that would prevent you from slipping. So yeah, so basically that's some of the stuff that you're going to need. And yeah, so basically that's the basic concepts that you would need in order for you to decide on what tools you're gonna buy when you're gonna go out fishing. We will discuss each one of them in greater detail in the future videos that are coming up. And so I do suggest that you subscribe to the channel so that you would be up to date on the new videos and the new fishing videos and tutorials and tips that I will be giving out in the coming days. So yeah, so that's it for me for now. I hope you've enjoyed this video. And as usual, I will see you guys soon. Peace.